second again, ole ole. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Football Brotherhood. They're at it early this year. It's February, it's January.
Mate,
Honestly.
it's never too early for them, is it? So, look, I am in a good mood. You know why I'm in a good mood. Alex, I didn't even think it was worth watching yesterday. I thought, you know what? Of all the games they're going to trip up in, it ain't going to be that one. I'm just going to get an early night. I wake up to a madness, and obviously a lot of text from you. Mate, tell me your thoughts first of all on this monstrosity.
I mean, look, I agree. I thought it would scrape home. My prediction was 2-1. Go and check our predictions episode out on there. I was wrong. They had a special one in store last night. They are playing rubbish. They're playing rubbish, and that's the best way I can explain it. I just want to touch on something I read on social media. And this is something that's going around at the minute with the he's got to take the handbrake off. Right. Is Arteta negative? The answer is yes. Taking the handbrake off is not the issue here. These players are crap. The handbrake's not the issue. The car's the issue. The car is a fucking shit show. This attack is crap. No handbrake coming off is going to make Gyökeres, Trossard, Saka and Odegaard good. The problem is the players and the manager. They're a collective. And the fans as well. We'll chuck them in. Taking the handbrake off ain't going to work. Take the handbrake off, they'll roll off the cliff backwards.
You're so right.
So for me, I think the players are not that good. I did a TikTok a few weeks ago before the United game, and I said United have got a better attack than them. I'm starting to think we've got a better goalkeeper than them. In fact, no, I 100% we've got a better goalkeeper than them. Lamons is better than Raya, full stop. Raya, his shot stopping from outside the box, we need to talk about this. He's getting away with it. These clean sheets, they're a little bit Fugazi, man. They're a little bit Golden Glovey. They're a little bit Pepe Reina from the 2000s era, where he wins the Golden Glove, but he's a bit crap. He's a bit small. His shot stopping's a bit shit. Another one last night. Oh, it's flown in the top corner. Let's watch it again. It didn't go in the top corner at all. It actually goes fairly central-ish to the net. Mateus Cunha. I love that goal.
I was just going to mention Cunha myself. I think his positioning in the net sometimes, I think he makes himself easy to be beaten, especially from these outside of the box shots. Yeah, I don't really know what's going on in terms of Raya. I just don't think he's as good as people say he is. And I think he was benefiting from a defence that was working earlier on in the season. Now they're stuttering and we're not seeing them clean sheets anymore. And I think that's as simple as that. But Alex, if we want to talk about the deeper issues with this team, which you touched on yourself, and you're so right. I know you went on Davies' channel and you made that claim and you said Man United have got a better attack than Arsenal. And to be fair, I'll hold my hands up. And even I was a bit like, nah, mate, I think that's a bit disingenuous. I don't really agree with that one. Do you know what? I'll hold my hands up right now and say you were full on. You were 100% right. Because if you look at the way they play, I watched that Brentford game. I watched Gyökeres. I watched his first touch. And it's like a goal kick. The guy can't play football. He's fundamentally poor. He is not a good player. This guy is never going to make it in the Premier League. It makes me laugh that people were comparing him. And look, I don't think Sesko's any sort of world shaker. But I tell you what, if you were to go back and do that summer transfer window again, you 100% don't sign Gyökeres. The guy is absolutely wank. I think you've got Trossard on the other side. You're looking at him and you're like, he's one of them players that, okay, you could make him work in a squad rotation of a Premier League winning side. This guy having him as a person that's going to have to get the goals and you're reliant on him, it ain't going to work. And then you've got Bukayo Saka, you just gifted him another contract that this guy didn't earn. And he's putting his celebration, he's signing on. Yeah, of course you're fucking signing on, mate. You're signing 300 grand a week and you do not deserve it. So, I'm not surprised. The attack's dog shit and it ain't getting any better anytime fast. The only hope they have is going back to this corner routine, but it ain't going to win you a title. I said earlier on in the season, you don't win a Premier League title by being good at fucking corners, and we're seeing this now pay dividends.
I mean, yeah, just firstly, I hope God forgives you for saying that Trossard's better than Cunha, because that is blasphemous. Trossard is mid. He's the most mid-table, mid-winger I've ever seen in my life. Does nothing, gets the odd goal. Does nothing, get the odd goal. Matoma. There's a list of them. Mid-strike. And I tell you what, mid is not Gyökeres. He's utter shit. I think there's an argument to say he's the worst striker in the league. Strand Larsen's probably better than Gyökeres. Saka overrated. Said that. Look, if you think he's better than Ahmad, I'll accept that. But they've both got their deficiencies, and I think they're both good at the same things. If you think Saka is better than Ahmad, it's a much of a muchness in my opinion. And Odegaard is just a joke. He's a joke. I'm sorry. He's got 1 goal in Feb, 2 goals in Feb, or whatever he's got. He's pathetic. And I think just going back to the defence, because this is the big thing for me. You've got smoke and mirrors in net who can't save shots that aren't in the corners from distance, by the way. He's like 6 goals in from outside the box this season. These aren't flying in the top bins. Whatever you think on surface, like I said, Cunha's amazing. Actually, Donnarumma, you know what? No. Le Mans probably saves them. Let's not go Donnarumma, because then you'll go, well, Donnarumma's great. Let's go with a mid-table keeper. Le Mans is a great example. He's pretty good he's a 7 out of 10-ish keeper, I'd say. Le Mans saves that last night.
I tell you who saves it, Alex. Emi Martinez, a guy that they shifted out the fucking door.
Exactly. I mean, look, they're just, it's even by their standards. Put it this way, I've just said this on the predictions episode, so I know you've heard this before. It takes a unique club to be 5 points clear with 11 games to go, and everyone unanimously thinks it's over. Not for them, for the team that's second. And the team that's second, by the way, didn't win for about 6 weeks. They've hardly been great all season. They might be getting going, and that's to be confirmed. But we're not talking like they're getting hunted down by a City of old here. They're getting hunted down by a City team who you've correctly slagged off all season. And that's the truth of this. They've gone from being the worst winners ever to this is the worst choke job ever. And that sums them up.
Yeah, look, Alex, if you look at this Man City team, like you said, I've criticised them. I don't believe we should be in a title race. We're in a title race by default. And I will say that even if we win it, I will be consistent. I will celebrate that title win, like I'm going to, by the way. Yeah. But I will be honest and say this is not going to be a City title I am especially proud of, because I think the way we're benefiting, Alex, is we've got some real winners left in our squad. I'd like to touch on Bernardo Silva. The moment he gets that goal in a game that was getting away from us, we were so poor that second half at Anfield. Bernardo Silva gets that goal out of nothing, and he goes and picks the ball out the net back to the halfway line. I tell you what, if Martinelli scores that goal, Alex, he's in the fucking away end, and all them divvies are lapping it up, trying to get to him, get a fucking selfie. And that is the difference. Bernardo Silva gets that ball, he goes right back, and he goes, no, if we want to win this title, we're going to have to go at him again. And we did, and we got it over the line. But
you're factually correct. Martinelli scored an equaliser against City in the first 5 games of the season. And he ran off celebrating.
And he's doing a knee slide into it. Yeah, exactly. And I think this is fundamentally a problem with Arsenal. If you look at them and you look around, Alex, where we benefit and where I think the difference is we've got the burning embers of them characters of old. They're not the players they once were, Bernardo Silva, even Ruben Diaz to a certain extent, Rodri. They're not the players they were. I think they're enough, though, and I don't think Arsenal have anything close, mate. I think you're looking around and people go Declan Rice. Declan Rice, by the way, who came out after the Brentford result, and he said, if we can't win, we won't lose. I tell you what a fucking loser West Ham mentality you've got, my friend. Because, I tell you, if you'd have just opened your body and fucking scored, then you'd have put City in trouble once again, and you'd have been closer to the title.
This is the thing, though. They're isolated moments like you just did there with Rice, not you specifically, but the fans are going, if Martinelli had scored that in the last minute against Brentford, if Raya and Gabriel didn't gaff that cross last night. No, you're in these positions because you're living consistent. The boundaries, margins are so small in all of your games. You cannot afford anything. Sunderland last minute, Man United last minute, Brentford late goal, Wolves last minute. Wolves got a last-minute goal at the Emirates. Do you remember, Christian? And they got out of jail with that own goal.
They got away with that one massively.
Arsenal had 49% possession last night in the second half. They had 1 shot on target. Wow. They made 163 accurate passes. Worst team in Premier League history. Wolves made 180 passes. Arsenal are not just the worst. They're the worst contenders in history. I'm sorry. They're on pace.
By the way, Alex, just before
they're on pace for 82 points. That would win you 2 league titles in the last 25. That's how low that point total is.
Before you go on, Alex, it's interesting you bring up that about the shots on target, because they actually broke a record in the Brentford game for not having a shot for the first, I think, what was it, like 50 minutes or 48 minutes or something like that? And it was 5 years ago the last time they'd done that. Unbelievable. Arteta, Arteta is bringing in this football. And yeah, I know what you're saying about this. He needs to take off the handbrake and it won't make much difference. But he has picked this squad, Alex. This is £1 billion squad. And they are shit. We get it right. Madueke is now getting a lot of games. This guy was brought in and we're like, oh, well, he won't be playing anyway because Saka's going to play every minute. Saka looks like he's ready for retirement. That's the fucking reality of that situation. He looked physically done. So then you see Madueke get more games. Eze, by the way, I tell you what, it's funny because I ain't seen as much Eze slander as I think is due. Because when we signed Jack Grealish, and everyone's like, oh, Pep's ruined him. There's no freedom in his play anymore. I don't really hear anything about Eze. Well, let's have a chat about him because the guy looks fucked since he signed for Arsenal. He looks crap. Is he even getting a place on the plane for the World Cup?
Well, he can't get a minute in this team.
That lacks creativity, that lacks drive, that lacks anything in the offensive positions. Eze would be perfect. Why is he not? So you've got to look at Arteta, right?
Yeah, look, Arteta is not up to it, clearly. I mean, this is second again. We started the video with a bit of a joke. You're getting trolled by Wolves, man. And no shade, shout at Wolves, great effort. But they're just unbelievably crap. This isn't changing. I think they're in a top 4 race, and I'm not changing my opinion. I think Man United will finish close. Whatever the point gap is now, I've not looked because it doesn't matter about the league table anymore. Is it 13 with a game in hand, Man United to Arsenal? Say it is. So I think we beat Everton, hopefully. 10. Let's call it 10. The gap now is 10. Man United will finish closer than 10 points to Arsenal after game 38. Now, I don't know how close you want it. I don't know what I'm going to say yet. I need to see a little bit more Man United. I'm telling you now, this Arsenal form ain't temporary. There's no upturn. They're crap. They're begging for that Carabao. That is their last chance saloon here that they win that Carabao. Because one, it gives you a trophy, and also it gives you in my opinion, a puncher's chance at rocking City in this title race. Because I think they're done. I think their mentality, they're cracking. They're nearly in tears. Calafiori's in the net like Onana last night. Arteta's got fucking rain running down his face. Or tears. Like, are you crying as well, mate? They're pathetic. Gabriel's upset. They're so soft. They're soft, man. Patrick Vieira, Paul Merson, Petty, Henry, Ljungberg, Pires. They are not fit to wear the shirt, man.
Alex, if they showed as much fight as they did, bitching after the whistle, and Jesus, God, I've never seen that guy grow a pair of testicles. If he'd have actually shown a little bit of fight in the game, and like you said, that interesting situation with Trossard, oh, he's got to go off, let's get another free substitution, and the free substitution costs them the fucking goal. Just hilarious, and it's more Arteta bullshit tactics that we've been seeing all season, and it was something your mate said, a guy that you've been on his channel, Dan Talks United, check this guy out, does good videos, and he said football won that day when Man United beat them. Shout out him, what a great comment, and this is why you might not like Manchester City, and to be fair, Arsenal, thank you, because I've not heard this 115 bullshit being spouted about half as much, because everyone just doesn't want your shit football to go and win a Premier League title, and I don't think we're going to see it, because to see it, we need to see you getting back to your corner routine and your clean sheets, and I don't think they're coming back. I think that ship's fucking sailed. I think Arteta's underpants are full, and I think they're getting fuller by the day. The fans are fighting amongst each other. We're seeing that Wenger era come back. God, I was seeing Ty nearly offering out a 12-year-old. It ain't looking good, bruv.
Nah, the only thing that's looking good is AFTV's profits on YouTube.
Yeah, facts.
But look, I think that the touching cloth, I said this after the United game, it's only because City just laid another egg, leaving the door up. Just go and win it. We'll draw at shitty Tottenham. There's the title. You still can't do it. City were doing they got the food on the spoon, they're doing the aeroplane noise, and you still can't get it in your mouth. The crap.
Yeah, down the chin.
No, I don't know what more there is to say. I mean, honestly, I'm not even, Christian, isn't it funny, we're 15 minutes in here. We've not even spoke about fixtures for the last 11 games, because I don't care who they're playing. Every game will be tough.
This is one thing that I spoke to you about, right? And in fairness, you at the time, you're in a bit of a delicate situation, because you do not want a Manchester City fan who's your brother and we share the channel to go and win another league title. If you were picking, you'd probably say Arsenal at a push, even though you don't like the way they play, right? But, I mean, the way they're playing is testing people. And it's like, look, we would rather watch a team that tries to play football, play entertaining, a game that I just brought up on the predictions video, when we won that first leg away at St James's Park, tough place to go to, we then took them back to the Etihad. We punished them further. We didn't think, let's just stink this out, get to the 89th minute at 0-0, and then we might try and hit them on a break. Fuck off. This is why you have got yourselves in this situation with this bum mentality from the bum that leads you. And you are never going to get a title over the line. I think he's taken you as far as he can get you, and I can't see it getting any better.
I mean, this is one for all the United fans who and this thing with the Amorim. You've got to see this project through. Look at Arteta. Sorry, is he the gold standard? United fans were using Arteta's project as the let Amorim do what he wants for 5 years. Fuck me! I don't want that. I don't want Arteta. Arteta's best season was his second season after they got over the 8th thing. When they started the season with Jesus up top, Odegaard was quite good, Saka was good, and I think they had Xhaka and Partey in midfield. They were good that season. Right. I thought they were enjoyable to watch.
I remember watching them at Brighton away, Alex, and they looked unbelievable in certain games. There was a 20-minute spell, and I thought when they were playing with that freedom, they looked ruthless.
So you can't go back and play worse football than you were doing with a worse team, although, I think Granit Xhaka is showing how great he is this season. He'd walk into your team right now over two of them midfielders. And Declan Rice, you're on life support, mate. You've been shite now for about 6-7 weeks. I've not seen a good Declan Rice game for that Bournemouth away. He's the only one.
Look at players who've regressed as well, Alex. I mean, Martinelli, let's have a chat about him. You mentioned that chance he had, but under Arteta, I'd say his best season was under Unai Emery. And he looked like a real star coming through. And since Arteta came in, he had one season where he looked decent, he could go on to things. He's regressed massively. And I don't think any forward offensive player benefits from the way Arteta puts his team out. I would say, yes, there is that argument. A lot of them just simply aren't good enough. But it is the guys he has made a point of signing and spending a lot of money on. And I think he's going to pay the price for it, ultimately. But there's one thing, Alex, about their fan base, and I'm watching a lot of videos and the reactions this morning from last night's fixture. And the excuses, do you know what? I used to go to Manchester City home games, away games, and I'm paying my hard-earned money. The last thing, if I watch them lot drop a fucking stinker that are on 100+ grand a week, the last thing I am doing when I'm driving home is justifying to me old man going, oh yeah, but, there was 36-mile-an-hour gust winds. Shout out Julian. No, what I am doing is pinning it on the idiots that are capable of them performances. I'm spunking my hard-earned money up the wall, watching you idiots, and you want me to defend you? Not a chance. I don't get their mentality of a lot of their fans. I think the fan base is absolutely screwed up the wall. I don't understand the mentality.
I think me and you are obviously, and I generally will open it up to most fan bases other than them lot, that we do sort of go, right, shocking decision, but I want to focus on them 11. As recent as the Manchester derby, Dalot got away with a very poor tackle on Doku. You mentioned it, but you went, nah, you know what? The attack was toothless. You didn't turn up for a Manchester derby. I'm talking about the wind. The grass is too long. Remember the Patrick Dorgu volley from 25 yards. Ball. It came off his fucking hip. You got Ty on AFTV, kitted out in all the fucking usual shit he's in. I'm sure he said the Cunha one should have been disallowed. I don't even know what he's saying. They're the worst at everything. Like I said, it's a unique club. The North London Forever song, pathetic. Fans, pathetic. Arteta, pathetic. And them 11 on the pitch, pathetic.
Do you think, Alex, they have got, if you look at that squad, do you think they've got anywhere to build from in terms of leaders? I was talking about the guys we've had from the past that we have been able to build a little bit of a foundation on, I think will be the reason we can get this over the line. Do you see any potentials in that squad that could go on? A Gabriel Saliba, etc.?
No, because I just don't think they're as good as people think. And I think you've got to be able to deliver, like, on the pitch. You've got to be talented and you've got to be good at football. And they're obsessed with this mentality. But it does come down to what I think of these as players. I don't think a lot of them are that good at football. Yes. Do I think they're weak? Do I think they're cracking under the pressure? Yes. But I also don't think they're as good as what people think. Certainly that fan base, whatever. I mean, Piers Morgan had 3 of them in the Arsenal all-time 11 2 weeks ago. So this is what we're dealing with. It's nonsense.
He
and
said
you're
they're going to
right.
win the quadruple, didn't he?
I
Can't
don't
even beat the worst team in Prem history, you big fat twat.
I don't want to look. I ain't going to cheer City on. And look, if Arsenal win it, I won't lose any sleep either way here. But last night when Wolves scored, I found it funny. And really, being in my position, I should be being a little bit gutted there because that hands it to City. That opens the. Well, is it opening the door at this point? Fuck me. They might as well put the blue ribbons on at this point. But my point I'm making is, I was sat there laughing. I text you and Pat last night. And I'm laughing. I do find it hilarious. And then you've got the kickoff at the end. You've got the time wasting before the goal in stoppage time by Trossard, who's faking a head injury. Tell me, they're just unbelievable, man. And I just want to ask you something before we wrap up here. What is your prediction? Honest here, no joking. Please tell me. You got £1 million going on your 4 outcomes. What is Arsenal's final outcome in the Prem, Champions League, FA Cup, and Carabao? Hit me with that.
Champions League, they're gonna just do the usual limp out. I think they could get, depending on their draw. I've not looked at their side of the draw. I don't know who they're going to end up with. They could get as far as the semi-final, but I don't see anything happening seriously there. I just think they're going to come unstuck with the same thing we've seen all season in the Premier League. Don't think they've got enough goals, and I think the defence is now becoming leaky and unreliable. So yeah, I think they're gonna get themselves out of that. Carabao is a straight out, it's a shootout between Man City and them. I think they've got a chance. I think that's completely 50-50, to be fair. Look, we are susceptible off set pieces, and they are incredibly good at them. So I give them a good chance in that game, to be fair. What I don't give them a chance in is the Premier League, and City take that all day now. Because you have shown me, time and time again, you have not got the mentality to win a Premier League. Not one player in that squad is capable of winning a Premier League. You need an overhaul. You need different energy in that squad. You need fucking winners. You need guys that'll pick the ball out the net and go and get the winner. Not these divs that they've got doing knee slides for equalisers against top 6 teams. It's pathetic. In terms of everything else, could they maybe get an FA Cup? Look, possibly. But I just don't think it's going to be enough. I think at best, Alex, they finish the season with a Carabao.
Okay. Well, I disagree. I don't think they're going to beat you in the Carabao final. I don't think this 50-50 either. I think Guardiola needs to crank it up a little bit more than he might because he likes Arteta for whatever ridiculous reason. I think he needs to just chuck in some mind games, and I think City need to eat them up in the tunnel before kickoff and watch them fold. Is my honest answer on the Carabao. So I'm going to go runners up in the Carabao. I'm going to go 3rd in the Prem. Don't ask me who's coming 2nd. I've not decided yet. Can I wait till Monday evening to answer that one? I'll wait till Monday evening. But they're going to come 3rd in the Prem. They're going to get to the final of the FA Cup and lose. They're going to go out in the Champions League quarterfinals in a tough 2-legger against a decent side.
Yeah, I think any sort of team, PSG or Bayern Munich, they're going to come unstuck, aren't they?
Atletico. Can we get Atletico? Can we get Atletico versus Arsenal for the worst spectacle ever and watch them lose to the guys who invented what they do?
It'll be Simone. Oh, God, I can't watch Simone and Arteta playing chess on the touchline with 20 defenders, man. I'm not doing that. I will not be tuning into them 2 legs, I tell you that. I'll be checking Sky Sports. Just let me know when Arsenal are out and we can all move on with our lives.
I hear you. Look, let us know in the comments what you think. Any Arsenal fans?
Alice, by the way, sorry, just a quick one. So you, at this point, you think City have got this wrapped up, or do you think anyone else can throw the name in the hat? Aston Villa? Dare I say it? Anybody else?
Yeah. No, I can't say Villa. I just can't. The 3 points off City. I mean, and they've got a winnable game this weekend at home to Leeds. I just can't. I can't say it. Look, it'd be like from my perspective. Fuck me, I'd love Villa to win it over City, but I can't go there. And United are too far behind City at this stage. I don't think. Say there's 8 points between United and City. I don't think you're going to steam away and finish 16 points ahead of United. No. But I don't think we're going to gain enough. We'd have to gain 9 points because you've got miles better goals. We'd have to gain 9 points on you in 12 games. So it'd just be, like I said, City's form would have to go back to the hell it was 6 weeks ago in December and January. And I just don't see it. I think you've got a little bit of, like I said, I don't think you're overly the team you were clearly, but I think when you can see the trophy in your sights, I think that you will do more than enough, in my opinion. So I think you'll win it by 5 points personally. Like I said, I don't know who's going to come second. I hope it's Man United in a way, because it means I've got 12 games of enjoyment. I know that might seem ridiculous, but where we were in December, second place was a impossibility. So look, I think that's what I think. I will say that the most pathetic thing, like I said before, is that they are still 5 points clear. They are mathematically ahead right now, even if you win the game in hand. And
one thing, Alex,
and they've got to play you. That to me is That to me is the most mind-blowing thing of the whole situation. That Arsenal fans, manager, players, the whole club is just chalking that as a loss. That's how pathetic they are, where they're almost going, right, give City the 3 points, and then that's how we're going to look at the table. If you win that, I honestly do think, if they beat you in that game, they probably win it, just because it's a 6-pointer. You would get 0, they get 3. The fact they're just accepting that that's a loss just sums them up.
Do you know how bad I think this situation is for them? You are right, and by the way, they have somehow mathematically, after this, we could be 9 points, we could be 13 points clear. They have mathematically put it in our hands now. If we win every game from now to the end of the season, we win the league, which is unbelievable for a Manchester City position. Even a couple of weeks back at the end of that Liverpool game, we were staring down the barrel. But, Alex, here's my take. I don't even think that game at the Etihad is going to become a shootout. I think they are going to continuously keep dropping points. Me and you've done a prediction episode. If anyone wants to jump on that, go and check it out. I think they're dropping points against Spurs. And North London Derby right now, with that club's mentality and them players, they're dropping points, mate. I'm telling you. I think they're going to continue to do so. They don't have an easy game. You know what, Alex, when you're talking about these fixtures, obviously, we record our predictions week in, week out. And it's funny when you go in, Villa will be looking at this result and this fixture and circling it. You know, that's a good one in the calendar. Which one are Arsenal circling? They struggle against everyone. They struggle against fucking Wolves, the worst Premier League team in history. They ain't circling anything.
Nah, they're just, like I said, they're begging for the full-time whistle in every game. They're begging for everything. They're time wasting, the set pieces and shit. That's just what they are as a club. And like you said, it's only going to get worse. And the Carabao, I have no idea what hell you are in for there, because God forbid you go down 1-0 to them. Yeah, it is going to be an awful spectacle. It will be anyway at 0-0, to be honest. But this is the thing. I just want to wrap up on Arsenal now. That the fact you have that insurance, you can beat City, you can win the game. It's a game of football against a team that you're meant to be equivalent of. You're meant to be better than. But I just want to say, in my opinion, with how bad Arsenal are and what I think of them, City have to win this title. In a way, I'm actually starting to flip my pressure now to City and Pep and the money spent. And if City don't win it from here, I want to just quickly get your opinion on this. I think that's a bad red mark on Guardiola. Not forget the points total. We know it's going to be 82, 83. It's going to be low. Yeah. But the fact it's Arsenal and it's in City's hands now. Pep is the best manager, one of the best managers of all time. He spent 500 million in 12 months. City have to win this now, Christian. This is a bad one, in my opinion.
It's a bad one it is a bad one in terms of, you know, Guardiola should be looking at this and doing enough to get it over the line. But in terms of his legacy, I don't think it would affect him. So I disagree with that in terms of it being a red mark on his record. But you are so right. And I've questioned this team's mentality, a lot of these players. That game at Old Trafford, mate, I can't move past that. I'm not moving past that, to be fair. So bad, I have no right to move past it. And I won't, even if they go and win a title. That will stick in my mind. Because if them players are capable of that, it worries me. Them players are also capable of stinking it up and somehow not taking it off them idiots. But I think they will. And they've got to prove a point here, Alex, because this would be more damaging to a lot of these transition players in this City era where, you know, your Rodris are getting older, your Bernardo's probably leaving at the end of the season, Diaz getting older. These new guys, this new breed, need to prove you can take it off a team like Arsenal. If you're not capable to go and take this title, now they're gift wrapping it for you, you don't belong at the club, and that's my opinion on it.
Very fair. Let's see what's going to happen. What's your prediction, man? Are Arsenal going to go trophyless? Are Arsenal going to win the quad? I think we all know the answer to that, but let us know in the comments what you think. Thank you all for listening. And go and check our predictions out if you want to see why I think Tottenham are going to beat Arsenal on Sunday, because I do believe they're going to beat them. Can't wait for it. The cracks are showing. And I reckon if I could compare it to something, you know, the Titan sub that went down to see the Titanic, and they started hearing cracks and they tried to drop some weights and come back up. I think they're just about to drop some weights here. And you know what happened to that Titan sub, Christian?
We do.
One word: implosion. I'll end it on that. Catch you all on the next one.